Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Committee on Finance. At this time, we ask that you please silence all electronics, and at no point, please do not approach the dais. Chair, you may begin.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Councilmember Linda Lee, Chair of the Committee on Finance. I would like to recognize my fellow committee members, Councilmember Selvina Brooks-Powers, Councilmember Abreu, Councilmember Maloney, Councilmember Marnice, Councilmember Morano, Councilmember Wong, Councilmember Ressler, and Councilmember Hudson. Thank you all for joining us this morning. At today's hearing, the committee will consider and vote on the following items. The first one is a budget extender bill sponsored by myself by request of the mayor in relation to the date of submission by the mayor of the proposed executive budget and budget message and certain other dates pertaining to the budget process. There are also 5 pre-considered resolutions, all sponsored by myself as well, approving real property tax exemptions under Article 5 and Article 11 of the private housing law for the following projects. First one is Hudson View 2 and 3 in Councilmember Abreu's district, 315 Harmon Street in Councilmember Nurse's district, and 984-988 Green Avenue in Councilmember Osei's district. And one bid-related bill, intro number 0791-2026, sponsored by myself and Councilmember Lewis by request of the mayor, to amend the administrative code of the City of New York in relation to amending the district plan of the Fulton Street Business Improvement District to change the method of assessment upon which the district charge is based. We will now hear testimony from the Department of Small Business Services on intro 0791 in relation to the Fulton Street bid. And we are joined by Deputy Commissioner Calvin Brown.
Good morning. Do you affirm that your testimony will be truthful to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief?
Yes.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Good morning, Chair Lee and the members of the Finance Committee. I'm Calvin Brown, the Deputy Commissioner for the Neighborhood Development Team at the Department of Small Business Services, and I'm joined by my colleague, Leslie Velasquez, who is the Director of Bid Development and Legislation. I wish to express SBS support for the law providing an amendment to the district plan of the Fulton Street bid, commonly known as FAB Fulton. At SBS, we work hard to open up the doors for New Yorkers throughout the 5 boroughs, focusing on creating stronger businesses, connecting New Yorkers to good jobs, and creating thriving neighborhoods. We oversee and support the city's network of business improvement districts who wish to form new bids in their communities. We believe bids are central to these efforts as valuable and proven partners in fostering the vitality of the city's commercial district and addressing economic inequalities. Part of our overall role in supporting the bids, this network of 78 bids, includes guiding them through the legislative process, including amendments to their district plans. To propose a district plan, a bid must complete a multi-step review process overseen by the SBS. The bid board of directors, which include local property owners, merchants, and residents, as well as the city's controller, borough president, city council, and SBS, must review and approve the proposed district plan amendment. SBS requires bid to host a public meeting for the local stakeholders to provide feedback on the proposal. Bids must demonstrate support from their board and from local city council members. As required by law, Fulton Street bid published a notice of this public hearing at least once in a local newspaper and sent a mail-in to all property owners and tenants in the district. SBS collected record of these notices and confirmed they were completed at least 10 days prior to this hearing. The Fulton Street bid is pursuing a district plan amendment to revise the assessment formula to more equitably assess the properties within their district. The proposed amendment will authorize a change in the method of assessment. Currently, the assessment formula is based on 80% of the front footage of the district and 20% of the assessed value on commercial, mixed use, and vacant properties with a $120 corner fee. Residential properties are also currently charged a nominal fee of $1. The proposed law would amend the formula based on 50% of the commercial square footage, 30% of the frontage, and 20% of the assessed value for commercial and mixed-use properties, and increases the corner fee to $350. while residential properties will be assessed 25% of the commercial rate. Additionally, a new class will be created to assess vacant lots. These changes to the formulas will address and reflect the changes over the 18 years since the bid was formed in the built environment. Residents from the a representative from the Fulton Street bid is here to answer any additional questions that you may have, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have now. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions? No? Okay. Oh, okay. Councilmember Mealy?
Yes, how are you?
Hello.
Why do you feel they need the assessment of 50% instead of 30? Because store owners are seem like overtaxed. They just realize they have to pay for the new gates. Now, if you want to get into the bid, instead of 120, it went up 50% or 20?
For
30%.
the commercial rates?
Yes.
So the rate now would be 50% for commercial square. So it's a combination. So if you're looking at a property, one property, they'll look at what the commercial square footage is, as well as the frontage, as well as the assessed value. So it's a combination of all those different things. So it's not necessarily 50% that they will be assessed.
So why do they need the frontage?
So this is whenever they look at the formula, and the representative she'll be able to kind of explain that. They look at what the built environment is, the landscape, and how properties are. When you add square footage, you want to capture what is happening in that building, right? So there's a combination of frontage, but also the square footage. So some properties have a lot of commercial square footage, some have small, so that's why they usually have a combination that looks at the assessed value as well as the frontage. So if you have a store frontage and you don't have anything above, you want to capture that to make sure that you can contribute to the budget that will help the bid to operate.
Okay, thank you.
So it's really based on the built environment. So that's why every formula may be a little different.
Are the assessment of SBS, are y'all funding going up to help these bids?
So we don't provide any funding
the
into the
elected
assessment, but we
officials.
do support this particular bid as part of our small bid grant. They are eligible for our small bid grant.
Of how much?
I want to say last fiscal year they received $75,000.
Okay, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I still got, only why I'm asking these questions, the bid on Fulton Street, we wanted to go further down about 18 years ago, and they didn't want to come all the way down. So I know now Fulton Street on my end, that will kind of hurt some of the store owners. They are calling me now in regards to the bill that City Council, in which I voted no for, that you had to change your gates that they could see inside. I feel we are taxing these commercial business and small commercial businesses too much, and this is going to be an extra bill. I hate now that I got to go back and say something.
This won't extend that far down on
I
Fulton.
know. They said no 18 years ago when I wanted them to extend it all the way down to my district. So now I know, but once we do this, once I do my bid, it's going to go assessed to them just as well. If that bid open up, right?
Not necessarily. Each formation,
do a bid on my end,
the formula is different, and is based on the stakeholders' appetite for paying into the bid's budget.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Councilmember Hudson, did you have? Okay, perfect. Also want to recognize we've been joined by Council Members Felice, Jay Sanchez, Councilmember Mealy, Councilmember Eldebal, and Deputy Speaker Williams. Okay. Okay, go ahead, Councilmember.
Long time no see. Good to
I
see
know.
you again. It was great working with you when I was the chair of the Small Business Committee. Just a fast question. So this assessment is on the property owners, not the business owners.
It's on the property owners, yes.
Okay, so yeah, all right. So on the property owners, not the small business owners.
Yes.
All right, cool. Just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Okay, great. And if there are no other questions, we are going to now hear testimony from Fulton Street bid representatives. Thank you so much, Commissioner.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you affirm that your testimony will be truthful to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief?
Yes, I do.
You may begin.
Good morning, Chair and members of the committee. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this morning. My name is Angie Brown. I'm the Executive Director of the Fab Fulton Business Improvement District. And I'm here today in support of the proposed amendment that you have before you for the amendment to the district's assessment formula. So at its core, this proposal is about fairness. Since the bid was established in 2009, our district has changed significantly. We now have a more diverse mix of commercial, mixed use, and residential properties, all of which benefit from bid services like supplemental sanitation operations, public space maintenance and management, and district-wide programming. But our assessment formula has largely remained the same over these years. As a result, the current structure places a disproportionate burden on certain property owners, particularly our commercial stakeholders, while others contribute at levels that no longer reflect their presence or benefit within the district. That imbalance is not sustainable or equitable, and it led us to take a closer look. This amendment directly addresses that issue. It introduces a more balanced framework by ensuring that all property types contribute in a way that is proportional and appropriate. Importantly, it includes residential properties in a meaningful way for the first time. Previously, residential properties were assessed at a nominal rate of $1 that did not reflect their role in the district. Under the proposed formula, residential property owners, will contribute at 25% of the rate of commercial and mixed-use property owners, a move that recognizes both the benefits they receive and the need to maintain a reasonable distinction between uses. Additionally, vacant lots will be assessed at 125%, and that's the new class, Class D. This is not about shifting burden. It's about correcting an imbalance. It is about aligning contributions with today's reality so that no one group is carrying more than its fair share. We undertook this process carefully and deliberately with board oversight and stakeholder engagement to ensure the outcome is both fair and durable. This revised formula aligns responsibility with reality and puts the bid on a stronger footing, allowing us to continue delivering the services that make the district work for everyone. And we respectfully ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your testimony, and also thank you for doing the work in the community, because I can't imagine it was easy getting everyone together, so I appreciate your efforts in that. Oh, yes, sorry. Go ahead, Councilmember.
We'll just say briefly, many years ago, I served on the board of then Pratt Area Community Council, which led the formation effort of this bid, and I think FAB has been a phenomenal bid for our community, and in partnership with Councilmember Hudson and her predecessors, you all have done so much good in creating new open spaces, supporting wonderful small businesses, supporting diverse small business owners, helping to really make Fort Greene and Clinton Hill the great neighborhoods they are. And I'm really grateful for the work, and grateful for everything Councilmember Hudson has done to support the bid.
Thank you. I'm grateful too.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, okay, Councilmember Mealy?
Could you explain the lots, the vacant lots?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it first.
The vacant lot, so now if it's a vacant lot on that strip, they will be assessed at 125% automatic.
Of the commercial
The vacant
rate.
lots?
Yes.
Whoever owned the lot?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. All right, seeing no more questions, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. And I don't think there are any other additional registered witnesses present to testify, so that includes the testimony portion of today's hearing. And does anyone else have any comments, questions they'd like to make before we do the vote? No? Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to ask the clerk to call the roll.
Thank you. Good morning. William Martin, Committee Clerk. Roll call vote, Committee on Finance. All items are coupled. Chair Lee.
Aye and all.
Hudson.
Permission to explain my vote?
Permission granted.
Thank you. I just want to say that I fully support Angie and the bid, and to reiterate Councilmember Ressler's remarks. They've done an amazing work to ensure that the assessment is equitable. There have been a lot of changes to the neighborhood many changes that I'm proud of helping to contribute to, including new development in the area, which would then mean that we should reassess how the bid is formulated to further and better support the community. So with that, I proudly vote aye. Thank you.
Thank you. Gennaro. Brooks Powers.
I vote aye.
Feliz.
Aye.
Abreu. Aviles. Marte. Mealy.
I vote aye.
Narcisse.
I vote aye.
Ressler.
Aye.
Williams.
I vote aye.
Aldebol. Maloney.
I vote aye.
Sanchez.
Aye.
Wong.
I vote aye on all.
Morano. Thank you. With a vote of 14 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions, all items have been approved by the committee.
Great. Thank you, everyone, and that concludes the hearing.